Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the NBA Front Office Show. Trevor Lade here. I was foolish to think I could go on vacation and not have any kind of madness happen in the NBA because here we are. Now it's sounding like Damian Lillard could be requesting a trade from the Portland Trailblazers, according to Chris Haynes of Yahoo. Joining me is Keith Smith. Keith, it's always something with this league, isn't it?
Always, yeah. As Mark Stein tweeted, there's never a dull moment or something along those lines. But that was his point with one of his hashtag this league tweets. But yeah, I thought I was gonna have a nice relaxing Sunday afternoon. I was finishing watching the soccer games today, and I was maybe thinking about a little nap before Hawks 76 or Hawks Sixers. Geez, Hawks Bucks game three, but nope, here we are. Damian Lillard reporting from Chris Haynes is that Lillard is frustrated with some of the backlash that he's getting personally on the Chauncey Billups hire. He was also on social media in the last couple of days, kind of saying like, "Hey, I don't make the hires." Like I was asked, who I liked out of a group of names, and I told you all who I like, and that's kind of where it went. And I think for Damian Lillard, a guy who's been extremely loyal to Portland, I think this is probably the first time he's kind of catching heat for something there that's beyond hey, we want to win a little more on court. So yeah, I can get why there might be some frustration there, and my guess is that's cover to some extent for other frustrations he's feeling, because you don't just use it as well, the fans are saying mean things to me, so now I want out. Right. Like, he's never been that kind of guy. I'd be kind of surprised if that's all this is. But yeah, I think things certainly not as rosy in the Rose City as they usually are.
Well, look, I don't want to say his window is going to be shut soon, but let's face it, he's getting older. And at some point, he wants to contend for a championship. And he's remained very, very loyal to the Portland Trailblazers. But speculation has been running rampant for years that at some point he might just say, you know what, guys, this isn't working, and I want out. So let's go down that rabbit hole, Keith. Let's assume that he does follow through with this and he requests a trade, and the Blazers are at least inclined to some degree to listen and to consider some offers. From the contract side of things, what are we looking at here in terms of what his deal looks like, and then teams around the NBA, what are they going to need to do in order to put forth an offer that's worth a Damian Lillard?
Yeah, so important to remember, he could have been a free agent this summer, but like so many others, he signed an extension that took him off the market. So that's going to kick in. It's a max extension. It'll kick in at $39.3 million this year, then 42.5 in 22-23, 23-24 is 45.6, and then a player option on the final year, 24-25, 48.8. So I think that is where you start to get a little, oh boy, because he's going to be 31 at the start of next season. He actually turns 31 in less than a week or so, or about a week or so here. So that's what, 31, 32, 33, 34 years old, 48.8 million. That's a little questionable, right? Given just history of smaller guards and those kind of things. And, Lillard to this point, well worth it, you would say. Absolutely. That's not a question, but is he going to hold up? So that's what you're looking at contractually. So that becomes a difficult number to match, right? 39.3 million. That's tough. Almost 40 million. Once you get north of 35 million or so, you're talking either sending out a really big salary or starting to really pile together a whole bunch of the roster. That to me says this will happen in the offseason, meaning the next league year. Versus this league year, just because it's a little easier to maneuver and things like that when teams might have cap space and the like. But the reality is, 29 teams in the league will, they're not doing their job if they're not at least inquiring to some level of, all right, what would it take to trade for Damian Lillard?
Well, and when you're looking at this isn't the kind of scenario that we've seen play out in recent years with a guy like, say, Anthony Davis, where he's got 1 year left on his deal, tells the team, hey, look, I'm not coming back. Trade me. Get what you can for me, that type of situation, where then that player has some direction, has some control, because if Team X wants to trade for that guy, he can just say, okay, cool. Well, yeah, you can trade for me, but I'm not going to re-sign with you. And that will dissuade that team. Damian Lillard has 4 years under contract.
Yeah.
So how much, Portland has to feel in some way, if they do decide to trade him, inclined to help him because of how loyal he has been over the years and how much he has meant to that city. But how far does that go in terms of actually getting him where he wants to go versus just flat out taking whatever the best deal is out there, regardless of where it is, whether or not he actually wants to go to that destination?
Yeah, I'm not saying this out of any sense of criticism, and you know this
Mhm.
as well as anybody, but we know a large group of our followers are Laker
Sure.
fans. But when Anthony Davis said, "I want to go to the Lakers," he had 1 year left under contract, so it was really trade me there now and get something, or I'm going there in a year, and that's how it'll
Yeah.
go. So that's what's very different here, right? As you said, Dame's got 4 years left under contract. So Portland can look at it and say, yeah, go kick rocks. Like, you're staying here. You're not going anywhere. But I'm with you. I think they're more likely to say, all right, hey, we get it. You've been our guy. We should be able to return a massive haul for you as a superstar player, kind of in his prime right now. All right, here's what we can do. So that's what you got to do if you're Portland, because one, you'll get at least the goodwill, when right now it looks like that front office and franchise is kind of on shaky ground, with some of the things that have happened over here, over the last couple of weeks here. So we'll see, what direction they go. But there's a lot of people saying, well, Houston didn't get much for James Harden,
Right. I'm seeing
but you
that
can't
too.
go back to the yeah, you just can't go back to the last star trade that, quite frankly, probably was a little bit bungled, and say, well, that's what it is now. I think this is probably more comparable. Let's go back and look at the Davis return, which was pretty huge.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, I know we're all going there on Harden, but look at what Drew Holiday got.
Yes. Drew
And
Holiday,
I like
Paul
Drew
George.
Holiday, and yeah,
Yes.
exactly. In that holiday trade, to me, becomes a lot more of the comparable, except Damian Lillard's a far better player. So you should be able to get better talent, right now, win now
Mhm.
talent, and then you should be able to get every draft pick under the sun from a franchise.
Okay, so without going into every single team, because like you said, 29 teams in the NBA
Sure.
would love to have Damian Lillard, right? They would all love to
Yeah.
go in and get him. But who do you think has the ammunition to put together the kind of deal? And we're talking picks, we're talking players to get something done while, and this is key, I think, while being able to put together a competitive roster. Because if you're a team like before
Sure.
we came on, I mentioned the Thunder have all the draft picks ever. Well, sure, but if they go and trade for Damian Lillard, is he going to be happy there? No, they're not ready to
Yeah.
make that leap, nor is that really the path that they're on right now. So, who out there do you think has the ammunition to trade for a guy like Lillard and is in a position where trading for him puts them into title contention?
Yeah, I mean, first you're going to go kind of, well, let's play the hits, right? Can the Lakers
Yeah.
get involved? Because we know there's something, with him and LeBron,
Yes.
of, at least there's some reporting that they've talked about, maybe doing something and those kind of things. And we know LeBron's a big fan, but the challenge comes in of, well, what are you sending back? They're a little limited on picks they can trade. Caldwell Pope and
Kuzma.
Kuzma, that's not exactly a headline package, to get there. So I think you kind of, this is where you almost start to play process of elimination
Right.
to get to it. Miami, they'll be involved. At least at some level, they'll make a call there to say, hey, well, what can we do? Can we offer you a bunch of picks and Tyler Hero and other stuff?
Hmm.
Is that going to be enough? Could you see a team like Boston getting involved and saying, hey, yeah, I'm sure their initial offer would start with, all right, we're not sending you Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum, but what else would you
Right.
want? Then you start to go from there of, all right, it's got to be Brown probably. All right, then that starts to become a conversation on that side. What if you were Milwaukee and you flamed out here and didn't beat the Hawks? Would you throw Drew Holiday and picks and other things? I know picks are
Yeah,
limited
they're
because they
limited
sent them
there.
all off from the holiday trade, but could you see something like that? What about Chicago? A big market team that hasn't had a lot of success recently. Could you start to build something around a bunch of the young guys on the roster, and you look at a core of Lillard, Levine, and Vucevic for the next few years? That's probably a ready-made at least the conference
Mhm.
finals contender in the East. New Orleans, can New Orleans get involved? Could they throw a whole bunch of people? They can get salary matching pretty easily. They've got extra picks. You could send young, interesting young players like Jackson Hayes, Nikhil Alexander Walker. Because if you're Portland, to some extent, you could rebuild this on the fly. but you're also kind of probably doing a reset here to at some level. There, Dallas, could they get involved with their cap space and put Lillard and Luka together? Philadelphia, of course, Ben
Philly
Simmons
was my
would
thought.
be a primary guy there. Yeah, New York, with cap space and a bunch of picks and everything else that they could do. They'd also have the benefit of not having to send Portland back any bad salary. Yes, so I mean, there's all sorts of options. Let me give you one completely off the board one that I don't think would
All right.
happen, but I think would be the most fun. What if Denver said,
Thought
"We'll
of
send you
that.
Jamal Murray"? Yeah, we'll send you Jamal Murray and something,
Yeah.
picks or whatever it is, because we want to put Lillard and Jokic together. That to me would be that's the kind of all-in move if you're the Nuggets that you could do and say, hey, Jokic, see, we're real serious here. So that's just kind of more of a, I don't think it would happen, but more of a fun one that you could put out
Yeah, I
there.
mean, look, that's just it, right? Like normally when stuff comes up where it's, you know, this player is going to be on the trade market, we go, okay, well, team, these five teams can realistically make a trade for this player and nobody else. When it's Damian Lillard, everyone is going to pull out all the stops. Every team is going to kick the tires and find out, can we get something done here? And you just never know which team is going to find some way to make it work. And so that's what's exciting in these sorts of situations. And I guess we should stress that he hasn't like requested a trade yet. It's just he could go that way. And this is the first we've heard of it though, that we've really been kind of starting to veer down this path. So it's not that situation yet. But if and when this becomes a real thing and Portland is really listening to offers, which by the way, I'm sure their phones are ringing today already. When that happens, I'm expecting 29 teams to put in offers to varying levels of competency in terms of how strong they
Yeah.
actually are.
100%. Yeah, and that's what should
Yeah.
happen, right? And when a superstar comes on the market, that's what you do. I always think back to Daryl Morey talked about it when he made the James Harden trade. The reason why you pile up assets is so when you have the opportunity to jump at a superstar player or you think going to become a superstar player or whatever, you make that trade. That's why you do these kind of things. That's where OKC will be in probably a year or two. Where it's, oh, all you want is draft picks.
Here
Great.
you
No
go.
one can beat
Right.
us. Here they come. Here's, oh, you want 10? Okay. No one else can begin to
20?
offer
We
that.
got
So
them. 30?
yeah,
Here you go.
that's it,
That's where
right?
they're
So
at.
this is, going to be really interesting to see how this all comes together with this. And, I think this has a chance to be the kind of most what do I want to say? Like heated trade
Yes. Yeah, yeah,
discussion
yeah.
for a long time because the team who's acquiring him isn't taking any real risk because he's under contract for at least 3 more
Yeah.
seasons. So you're going to get him. Yeah, there could be a risk of like, I don't really want to be where I go to, but then, then fine, then we'll turn and flip you for more next time or whatever. It's, but I really think this is a situation where this could be one. And he is good enough right now and probably for at least the next 2 to 3 years, if not the lifetime of that contract, all the way through the player option, to swing titles.
Yeah.
Now that's how good Damian Lillard
Yeah.
is.
This return package could be, I mean, it could look ridiculous, right? Like when it
Yeah,
could be more than what the Clippers paid for Paul George, more than what the Lakers gave for Anthony Davis, because again, this is, like you said, he's locked up under contract. This isn't, hey, you get him and then you've got to cross your fingers and hope he resigns or anything like that. This is, you get him and you're going to have him for a while now. So this could be a major
yeah.
move. So obviously we'll break this down like crazy if and when this actually goes down.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. Hey, one more
Yeah.
thing. I know it's not on this subject, but all indications are the Orlando Magic look like they may hire former Magic great Anthony Penny Hardaway
Oh,
as their new head
wow.
coach. That sounds like things are progressing pretty quickly there, and he sounds like he may come in to be the guy to lead the Magic rebuild. He's currently the coach of the Memphis Tigers at the college level, but it sounds like Penny may be headed home to Orlando, which is that given some of the coaching news over the last couple of days, that one should at least bring a smile to some folks'
Well, that
faces.
would definitely be exciting, certainly for the Orlando Magic. All right, guys. Thank you all for joining us. Give us your thoughts in the comments down below about where you think Damian Lillard might go. And again, make sure you do subscribe right here to the NBA Front Office YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications. And apologies in advance if we had any sort of technical issues. Obviously, I am traveling and everything, so my bandwidth is not quite what it normally would be. So thank you guys for bearing with us through any of that. Till next time, everybody, stay safe and see you.